All right, so guys, today I am introducing Richelle. She entered Ignite pretty recently, and she just went for it. She just went for her launching her offer into her group, and she did $20,000. So far, we just this was just super recent, like last week, kind of recent. So I wanted to bring her on and have you guys get to know her story and where she comes from and what she's all about. So I'm super excited. And if you guys have any questions about Ignite, drop it in the comments below and we'll do our best to answer your questions. But let's rewind back and let's have Richelle let me know what made you get into this crazy world of stepping into the role of teaching your people and choosing Facebook groups as one of your vehicles to serve your people as well. Like, let's take a step even back before that. What got you into photography?
Oh my gosh. Well, I actually was a wedding planner. And when I met my husband, he was a photographer. And he wasn't a professional photographer. He was just like an amateur photographer. And he wanted to start a business. He was a private investigator. He wanted to get out of that. And he wanted to start a business. And he was like, well, I don't know what to do. And every day I would see him tinkering with his camera. So I was like, why don't we become wedding photographers? Like, I just woke up one day and was like, let's be wedding photographers. And he was like, that's nuts. I don't know anything about weddings, but I was a wedding planner. So I'm like, hey, let's do this. So that was 10 years ago. And we built a 6-figure business in wedding photography. And then I had a car accident, messed up my neck and back really badly. So we ended up in studio photography. And then we created a 6-figure business in that. And then my husband was like, you need to teach people this. Like, this is nuts. Like, you just are doing this so quickly. So then I became a photography business coach. So that was about almost 2 years ago. And I was doing like one-on-one, right? Like learning how to do one-on-one coaching and teaching people. And it's like, it takes a lot of time, right? And so then I decided to do like a beta launch to a small group and like build my course. So I was like, here's the outline, guys. Let's do this. You want to do it? Like, go buy it and I'll create it, right? Yeah. And so they did, and I created it. And I just been, for the past like year and a half, I've been really wanting to do like a cold launch to an audience of photographers. And I just kept on putting it off, and I kept making excuses. And then you're always in my inbox, Kim. You're always in my inbox. I'm like, this girl's launching again. This girl's launching again. And then, yeah, you were doing a 5-day launch, and I saw it, but I didn't even participate because I had no time. I was in the middle of a lockdown in our city. And then you just texted me and you were like, hey, do you got a Facebook group? And I was like, whoa. I'm like, yeah. And you're like, you want to monetize it? And I'm like, yeah. And you're like, hey, book a call. And I was just like, booked a call. And then of course I was like, oh my God, this lady's program, like, this is insane. Like, and then I told my husband, I'm like, okay, don't die. Okay. But this is how much it is. And I was like, and he was like, you're not going to do that, are you? And then the next day I was walking the dog with him, and I was just like, I'm going to do that program thing. And he's like, are you nuts? I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I just felt it in here, Kim. I was like, I got to do it. So that's what brought me here.
Oh man, I love it. Like, such an amazing journey you have. So, and you know, I can totally relate to you, how your husband's like, well, we don't know anything about that. What, like, why just get into that? I don't know. I didn't know anything about car parts. I wasn't a car person. And I started an automobile dismantling company, moved to the desert by myself, rented a random warehouse, and started hiring people off of Craigslist. So that's how. And my friend, when he went to visit my warehouse, he's like looking around. He's like, this is weird. It's kind of like you're like, I want to start a bakery and I don't know how to make anything. I don't even know how to bake. So
that's legit what we did too, Kim. Like, I was like, didn't even know how to shoot. Like, you would have to teach me how to shoot. And I was like crying. I'm like, it's so technical. My brain hurts. Like, yeah, it's just, you know, but that's what drew me to you, Kim, because I was like, I don't know what it is with this girl's energy. but I was just like, she's like a no BS kind of chick. And I was just like, I don't know, like this is the girl that I need to follow to get to this goal that I've been wanting to do on my to-do list for like a year and a half. And when like I started with you, I was just like, I'm gonna get my ducks in a row. And you're just like, what? What are you talking about? We're doing a conversion event. Like, let's go, chick. You know, and I was just like, oh, I was like, but no, I don't have all my things in a row. And you don't understand. Like, we have a full calendar, Kim. Like, it's like, no, let's go. Let's do this. Call one is tomorrow. And you're like helping me come up with my script. And I don't know, I just felt so inspired by your just kind of like go for it, do it. And the pressure was just like, oh my gosh, okay, I got to make this happen. And it was like such a great way of just making me do the task. And I had no choice but to follow your system, which is incredible, by the way. I like barely scratched the surface, but I literally followed all your system. And I was like, well, what am I going to email people? And I would be like, okay. And I'd find your emails and I would just amend it. And it worked really well. It was amazing. It was incredible.
Yeah. And one of the things I want to speak on is so why is it incredible? Is it because of the lightweight about it? Or is it because like one of the things I want to reassure people is that you don't have to come in and watch like a billion modules to like
actually, yeah. You know what? It's exactly what you just said. Like I think I've watched 5 videos and like that's including the welcome video. Like you guys kept me so on point with this is what you need to do that I was just like, okay, so I did my call with you, I did my call with Michael, and I would just start working through the steps. And because like the time it was like, okay, you only have until this to do this, I just followed directions. Like I was just like, they told me to do this. And even parts that I was like unsure about, and I was like, I don't know if this part over here is me in the script. I just went for it. And the whole system worked. Honestly, like I can't wait to get in the portal more, but I didn't barely touch it. Like it was more like hands-on with you, hands-on with your team, And every time that I got to a place where I was like, I don't understand what I'm supposed to do over here, like your coaching group is so responsive. It's like when the other people are sleeping, the other people are responding, right? So it's like whenever I was stuck, I felt supported. So, and I like that because it wasn't about a course. I didn't have time to go through 100 hours of course material.
Yeah. Well, I feel the same way when I get into a program. I just want to be able, so we structured the program so that if you have time, go and watch like the hundreds of modules we have.
Yeah.
And when I get into a program, I like to watch 2 videos or 3 and then like crush it in the first month or like just do really well to get my ROI back. So we crafted the program so it's like, okay, if all you did was one call and watch a few videos and then we set you off on a checklist and then you ask us questions along the way, you're gonna kill it. You're gonna do really well because there's always a percentage of your audience that will say yes to the premium level. And the faster you get there, the faster you can offer the premium level in a way that's congruent with your schedule and everything.
Yeah.
You're gonna have people coming out of the woodworks and they're gonna say, yeah, like this totally resonates with me. And so I want to speak to that point, like, okay, cool. You watched a few videos and you just got going. I think that's one of like the most important things when anyone comes into GroupConvert Ignite. I want to make sure they're getting results like fast. That's part of the no BS-ness of it. Another thing is, you mentioned that when someone's awake, when you're asleep or someone's asleep, someone's always awake. What is that? Is that the group chat that we have? Is that the...
Yeah, like, I mean, like, I know some of your team is like in different countries and different like things. So it's like whenever we had a question or whatever, I'm thinking, okay, this person's from the States. They're obviously clearly like most likely sleeping because they're in this time zone. So, and then I would get a call from Angel. And I'm like, oh my gosh, does this chick sleep? Like, but then I realized like so many people are in different time zones and countries. And it was so amazing because I always felt supported. I never went like where I was just like, it's been 3 days, like I haven't gotten an answer. Like never, never. I always felt supported. I always felt like I had the answers to be able to continue forward. And that's why I joined, is because I was like, I'm sick of being stuck. You know, when you like join a program and it's like, you only spend this amount of money and then you get the program and then you're like, oh, this is going to be amazing. I'm going to have everything I need. And then you can't ask questions. You can't like, do you know what I mean? Like there's always so many things missing and you always feel like you have this piece, but you're missing the other 5 pieces. And because you're so much about like tech and programs and you have a team to help you get unstuck and your team is incredible. Like to be able to like hop on certain coaching calls and be able to be like assisted very quickly, it's unreal. Like that's what drew me to this. I was just like, no, I'm done being stuck. Worth it, worth every penny, you know? Yeah.
Yeah. So in terms of and thank you so much. It is because of my team. It's not I'm a solo person helping everyone through this. It's the strength of the team, and the team, they're so inspiring to me and as well. And it's like they really want to help, and they really want to make sure that you get your message out and that you're actually getting those wins and getting those results. We have a clients wins thread, and lately you've like, for you, we've been blowing that up with you, and we're like, yay, Richelle, go. It's amazing to see you say yes and then step into it and then just go, and that gives us like you're perfect for us to help you move along the way. One of the things I want to ask is what programs have you invested in before? You said that sometimes you buy something and you're like, oh my God, this is gonna be amazing, and it's not like what it turns out to be. And how, like, what does that look like for you? And also, how is, like, maybe this is a redundant question. I was gonna say, how is Ignite different in terms of how you were onboarded, how you feel going about consuming the information?
Well, the thing that I like about Ignite is that it's a small group. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't mean super small, but it's small enough where you're not like getting lost in the shuffle. Because when you pay a certain amount of money for a course and you can never ask a question, you can never like get any type of support. It's just not there. And I've paid for those programs where there's thousands of people that have bought the program. It's more of a course. You have to literally go through like 7 months to a year of like information. And then you get in these zones where, because the group is so big, it's so easy to hide, right? So easy to hide and take care of your website and do all these things. It's like in this group, you've developed coaching teams to support the people, right? So it's like you have an accountability, and I can tell your people are super well trained, because even when we get on calls, like they're very focused into the result of just the call. And then your team always reminds, you know, so it'll be like, what's the update? And it's like, oh, this is what's going on. Okay, great. What's your goal? And you're like, oh yeah, my goal. Okay. Okay. And then just very specific and keeping you focused on what the end goal is. So I would say like, that's the main thing is, you know, some of these programs that you buy, you don't have the support. You don't have that closeness of being not able to hide in menial tasks that won't move the needle forward. And then the other piece is honestly, like, I really feel that whoever's leading the company, which is you, it trickles down, right, to the people you hire, that, and there's a vibe that happens. You could feel it in the emails. You could feel the urgency where you're like, it is time to step into who you're meant to be. Bottom line, okay? And it's like, you feel it. You're like, yes, this is my time. Like, stop goofing around, you know, figuring out landing pages and Canvas and all the stuff. Like, just make it happen. And so I would say that's the biggest difference for me, is being part of that vibe to just help you step into the person and the leader that you're meant to become for your people, so that you can finally help people. Because it's great. Like, we like got 13 paid students, over $20,000 in sales.
Yeah.
And it's like, my goal was 4 to 10, because I was like, Kim, the whole launch, my Facebook ads were locked and restricted. I could not advertise. You guys taught me all these strategies on how to do it in an alternative way, organically.
Yeah.
And I was able to do that. I hired my daughter, and me and her, like, organically were doing things, and 70 people registered. And I was like, well, if 7 people, that'll be 10%, right? But then 13 paid students on 70 registrations, I was just blown away. I was just like, yeah. So my goal was 8,000 to 20,000, and we hit over 20,000. And this was the first launch without paid ads.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, I wouldn't have done it if you weren't like, what are you talking about? Like, I was just like thinking I was going to, just spend 2-3 months setting things up. And you're like, no, we're not doing that. Conversion event. This is the date. We set the date. Set your intention, Richelle. Let's go. Let's do this. It is time.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. And
Yeah.
you mentioned something that I want to highlight, because you said your Facebook ads got shut down and you had 70 people. Like, if you had a different type of maybe a coach or mentality, you would be like, oh, I got to push this back. I got to like change things around. I got shut down here, so I'm not going to get those results. And the important thing we want to say is that when we help you do these conversion events, we help you launch your group. Your group can be tiny. You can have a tinier group, and you can still convert, and you can still have people say yes to you. Because we make it so that they only see you. You're the next step. You're like that person that there's no one else out there. It's just you. That's all they see. So it makes it easier for them to say, I could go and look around and spend all this time searching for another coach, another, photography coach to teach me the way, or I could say yes to myself and say yes to this and finally, get moving.
Yeah. Because that's the thing, right, Kim? Like, we buy into our own stories. We buy into it, and then if we hire somebody that's gonna allow us to buy into our own stories, like, I love you because you just stare at me. You're like, yeah, I know you're busy, but we're still gonna do this, And it's like, that's the thing, right? I don't know if you know, but I only had 98 members in my group when I like, when did I start? Like 4 or 5 weeks ago, max.
Yeah.
I only had 98 people in my group, Kim, and I was like, this can't be. And I'd be walking with my husband in the morning, and I was like, I don't know how they're going to help me do this, Jacques. Like, how is this possible? Like, I don't understand. Like, they said, like, I needed like this many, like, to even like launch this thing. And so with 70 registrants, we were able to grow the group. I don't know. I have to go check, but I think it was like 170 or something like that now. And then my Instagram grew, as well as my email list grew. But I mean, think about that. That's a very small list, Kim. 150 people on my email list. 150 people on my email list, and less than 200 people in my Facebook group. $20,000 launch.
Well, we can say that because Adam Gillard, he only had 146 people, and he did 46,000. It was like, you don't need a huge list, because everyone will see you as the solution. So it would take more time, more energy, more pain to go shopping around. Like, why would they do that versus them listening to you? And the phenomenon with Facebook groups is it's similar to a live event. If you put 150 people in a room with you and you do a live event, it's like phenomenal. They get that experience. They get the, oh my gosh, someone's standing up and going in and rolling. So, I gotta go too. That kind of thing.
And that's the thing, because my group was dead, Kim. My group was dead since COVID hit. Like I hadn't touched that group for a year. So just so you know, like if you have students that are like, you don't understand, my group is dead. Like, you know, it's like you guys taught me strategies. I was able to revive it and, you know, get it going. And now there's interaction in the group and stuff like that. So if people are like on the fence and they're like, no, you don't understand, I don't have a group. Well, my group was dead. Like nobody knew that what was happening anymore. They probably were starting to leave the group. They were like, nothing's happening here. You know? Yeah. So yeah,
so you had so many things that you could have been like, no, you don't understand. Like your Facebook ads got shut down. You had to do organic. Your group was dead. You barely had like 40, was it 60 people? And then you had 70 registrants. So all of these things, and you were busy. You are super busy as well.
And Zoom and Facebook stopped working on day 2. Day 2 and 3 of my launch, Zoom and Facebook crashed, and I had to be like, oh my god. So I started having to have everybody come from Facebook onto Zoom. And then on day 4 of my launch, I had a death in the family. And so what you taught me, Kim, is that because you instill delegation and team like mentality like in what you do, I literally was able to create checklists and scripts and hand that to my assistant and be able to be like, I'm going to be gone like pretty much for 2 days for funeral stuff and whatever. And because of your system, she was able to continue working like 6-7 hours a day, making everything happen. And like we closed strong, you know? So everything that could have went wrong, like internet problems and Zoom problems and Facebook problems. And Kim, I was so nervous. The first 2 days, I thought I was having a stroke. And I do a lot of Facebook Lives, but my whole face wouldn't stop twitching. And the one side of my face was so numb. I was like, I think I might, like, what is this? Like, yeah, I was so nervous, but I don't know. It's just, you get pushed into doing it, like not pushed into do it, but, you know, encouraged to just become who you're meant to be. And it's like, you just go with the flow and you're like, this is happening. There's no starting, you know, like it's advertised, we're happening, it's going live, the clock is ticking, like go. And you just do it. So I'm just really happy I did it. And I just, you know, I encourage everybody just to follow your system and to lean on people and never to stay scared in the back. Like, oh no, like, I don't know. No. Like reach out to the team, whoever you were assigned, just go for it. Just stop being scared and just go for it and step into your power, you know?
Yeah. And you're so inspirational. You do it, even though you told, we saw the freak out. We saw like the transformation of like, oh my God, they're breaking to, okay. You know what? This is working to, oh my gosh, people are enrolling and I can't believe I said it this way, but people are like actually saying yes back. And then, oh my gosh. So that transformation, I relish that. I like love it. I see that in my people. Like Tyler was super introvert. He's like, what? Going live? I don't even do that until oh my gosh, we did $100,000 and I'm creating a nonprofit. It was just like, it's insane.
Yes, absolutely. Oh my gosh, it's so exciting.
Yeah, I just love it. So one of the things so I feel like you kind of went through all of the reasons why you know someone might not join and say they don't have time, they don't have resources. It's like, oh, I got to build all these things up, and then you're just like, no, like I was busy. You know, condolences. You even have like a death in the family that you had to like wait for. It's just what is it about without I guess spoiling too much, like what is it that makes this work for you? Is it, you know, what if you didn't have a call with us where we literally told you what to say? What if you had to figure that out on your own? What if you had to like come up with, you know, without taking your expertise, what you already know, what you're already good at, and then putting in a way that would persuade your people? Do you think
it was incredible? Kim, like, you don't even understand. Like, the thing with me, there's a couple things. Number one, I was a wedding planner. So I like all my ducks in a row, and I like systems. And it's like, okay, the date is here, and then we have all these tasks to do, but you got to put it in. But nobody, like, if nobody gives you the system of exactly what to do, even if you have all this knowledge up here, how do you deliver it in a powerful way that is actually going to land with people for them to say yes? And when you guys like you sat there and you like started delivering my thing, and you were like, okay, what do you teach? And it was like amazing. And it was like, as the way that you delivered the process and the scripts, I felt so comfortable to just wear it like shoes, you know, just like it just fit, you know. It was just like, okay, I'm going to do every step the way they do it, even if I felt that it wasn't me. Because I was like, I don't know, this part over here, I don't know if that's me. And I just, now I sound like you, Kim. Now I just sound like you. Okay. We're just like, are you all in? Are you like playing full out? I'm like, I just sound like you now. But honestly, like, I was just like, my husband's like, oh, well, what about this? And my office manager's like, what about this? And I'm like, I don't care. Kim said this, I'm following the system. And it just worked. Honestly, I don't know. If you hadn't given me that, I probably would have stayed in overwhelm. I probably would have been like, oh, it's just, you know, like I'm stuck in the tech, and I just don't understand. Like, but your tech team, your support, Michael, is just incredible. Every time I got stuck, it's just, there was no more excuses. It's like, now you have all the tools to get unstuck. So now it's all up to you, Richelle. Like, are you going to do it? You know, that's what it did for me. It was just kind of like, you got it all here now. Now it's up to you. And it was like, oh my gosh, now I got to actually do it, you know, because I have no more excuses. But, you know, it's honestly, like, I love that about you, Kim. It's just like, even with Michael, like, I would be like, Michael, you don't understand. We're under lockdown. And then he's like, yeah. And then I'm like, but you don't understand, we're on lockdown again. It took me 2 days to reschedule. And he's just like, Richelle, busy people get stuff done. You know, like, there's no, like, you know, we're not going to like just coddle you, Richelle. Like, let's go, girl. Like, it's an amazing thing to be about, you know, just the positivity, just the system. That's all I can say. You got to follow the system. And if you don't have a system, you just keep on wavering and you feel lost. You just plug into the system. It's all there. You just got to do it. It's all like, once you come in, you know, it's just all up to you. It's all up to you to make it happen now. Because everything you need is here.
Yeah. Man, I just feel like a wave of positivity from you. I'm just like, oh my gosh, it feels so good. I want to ask, does the system, do you think applies to, let's say you didn't teach photography, but you teach something else. One of the big questions we get before someone joins is, hey, but I teach this and it's specific, or I teach this, like, will coming in still work for me? And what have you experienced already being in Ignite and like witnessing other people and other clients as well? Like, if you taught something else other than photography, I don't know what that would be, but you teach something else. Do you think you can just wear the system like a shoe and run with it?
I don't know. To me, like, I think like any type of online business that's trying to launch is pretty much the same system. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's the same system. Maybe the words will be different a bit.
Yeah.
You know, like when you and I were like building the 5-day script, like, you know, you say it in your word, but then you like Richelleize it. You know, you're like, hey, Richelle, like, what would you say? What do photographers say about this? And then you're like, well, they don't use this word, they use this word. And you're like, okay. And you're like, shh. You know, so it's like, it doesn't matter what you're in. It can be tapered to your thing. So you, like in the online space, we use a lot of words that photographers don't even know what that means. Like, photographers don't even understand the word copy typically. Like, they're like, what do you mean by copy? And it's like, oh, it's your wording. Like, it's the words you use. And they're like, oh, okay. So like online space uses different words, but you just convert it to words that make sense in your space for your people. Mm-hmm. You know, so to me, it doesn't matter what you do. It's just that's what you're there. You're there to give the system. We switch it with our knowledge, with the words that make sense to our audience, that it's going to land with them. And it just plug and play. It's like ad libs, you know?
Yeah. So, and Lisa is here. Lisa renewed with us for a second year, and she's like, best program ever. Yay, Lisa. Thank you so much.
Oh, yeah, I agree, girl. I agree.
So in terms of ROI, did you expect to get your return on investment so fast when you know, I didn't enroll you, Delia enrolled you, one of our team members, she specializes in closing. What is it about that made you go, okay, I want to do this? Was it because we're like, hey, you know, you're not going to sit in this program for months and months trying to figure something out. We're going to get you going very quickly. Did it feel kind of hard for you to imagine that you would have this return on investment back?
Oh yeah, 100%. I was like, what's going to be different? I've been doing this for like wanting to do this for so long. It's kind of like wanting something for so long. You almost start to lose your dream a little bit throughout, you know? And it's just like, oh, will it ever actually happen? And blah, 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 blah. But for me, when I was speaking with Delia, and it's like, I believed her like immediately. Like I was like, these guys seem, and then all the questions I had, I was like, okay, I use this software. Can I use that? And she's like, yes. And I was like, what about this? Like, da da da. Because like I didn't want to go and like change all my software and change, like, you know what I mean? Like I love the fact that you were like, no, you can keep the software you have. You could do this. You could do that. So that was important to me. And then I don't know, Kim, like you're just very believable. Like I knew that, yeah, like I was just like, this girl is no joke. Like I believe this is the proper way. Like I believe that this is the way. But what really got me is that first call, because we had our first coaching call, and you're very like business oriented, right? You're very focused, and it's like you could tell that the conversation, it wasn't like, so like, you know, da da da. Like no, it was just like I'm helping you get to your goal. It was very focused, and I felt that. I was just like, wow, like she's serious about helping me get to this conversion event and it being a success. And I felt that. And then I believed it. I was just like, because I don't think if you would have been so serious about getting me to that conversion event, I don't know, maybe I wouldn't have believed that it was possible. Because you were like, no, this is our number one focus.
Yeah.
This is our number one focus. We're not gonna hang out in the Kajabi or whatever for a year here. Like, let's get to this. I don't know. That's what it was for me. And Delia answered all my questions. But what really did it for me, I got to tell you, was that the fact that I was like, I told my husband, I was like, I love the fact that because of they're so tech oriented that I'm not going to have to be stuck. Because that's the biggest thing with me. The biggest thing with me, Kim, is that I would cry over the tech. Like literally like, oh my God, I'm a grown woman. I shouldn't be crying about like Kajabi and landing pages. Like I couldn't take it anymore. My brain was hurting. Okay. Like I know, like I was just like, so that really sold me, the fact that you were like, nope, if I could show you a way to do this, would that help you? Yes. If I could show you a way that you didn't have to be stuck in the tech and da 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 da. And I was just like, yes. These are all yeses for me. And that's just what did it for me. Like, you didn't really have to convince me. Like, I saw it from the first like conversation with Delia. I didn't even make it to your 5-day training. I just went to the Delia call, and poor Delia, I was just like, I got to be on a call in this much time. And I had to like hop off and send her the payment like after, you know what I mean? Like that's how much I was in a hurry. But yeah, that's what it was for me, Kim. Like I had faith. And you guys have delivered everything you promised.
That's a big thing to say, because I know a lot of coaching programs promise a lot, and then you come in and you're like, what is this? You're like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
I didn't want that to be our case. I wanted it to be say, hey, the big focus is you're going to get your ROI. Like that's one of the biggest focus. And not only that, we're helping you take what you know and actually convert to your people so that you are so happy to show up. And I bet you the people enrolling in your program right now, they're gonna already coming in with like crazy momentum versus like timidly walking in going, so what does this look like? Right?
1,000%. After I had that conversation with you and we built the 5-day, I went back to my website wording and I was like, this seems so like not like it was just too like, we're gonna do this. And now it was like, no, like this is your time. Like I had to go and change the wording because it wasn't powerful enough anymore. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're right. Like, your vibe affects me. My vibe affects them. After one of my VIP sessions, that I was so exhausted, Kim, I did not want to do the VIP session, but I did it because that was your system. And you know what? It literally helped close a lot of sales. But that, when I got on the VIP, one of the girls said, you inspired me. She said, you inspired me to go live for the first time ever. And I thought of that and I couldn't take the credit. I was like, Kim inspired me to step out and be me. And now I inspired her. And I just thought it was the coolest thing. I'm like, Kim is like, doesn't understand what's happening. It's like a trickle effect that you're creating. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you're changing my students' lives because you changed my life and on, right? Like, it's incredible. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I have that in mind. I'm like, if I have this energy and I can let you step into this version of yourself where you're showing up and you're like at that level, your people are gonna be like, oh my God, like, let's do this too. Let me step into this vision of myself too. And I think that is way different in terms of enrollment than trying to guilt trip or anything like that. It's more like, you've seen this all along. You know it's in you all along. Let me help you get there. It's like that type of warm invitation.
Exactly what you just described is the number one reason why I joined your program. And if someone asked me the major transformation, it wouldn't be the money, it wouldn't be any of that. It's exactly what you just described. That infusion of being able to be the best version of yourself and being able to step into what you're meant to do so that you can help others have the confidence to step into what they're meant to do and help the people they're meant to help. That is the number one transformation from Ignite for me.
I love it. And Carrie is also in Ignite. She's enjoying the program. She's like, I love Ignite. So true. The vibe of Kim and her team helped so much. Oh man, I love it.
Yes.
And you know what's so funny? When Delia, I first started training Delia, and by the way, you guys, Delia is a rock star. She's amazing. She's really good at what she does, and I try to have rock stars on my team. Like, every single member of my team, they're freaking like rock star people. And one of the important things I want to try to have is that number one, the vibe and the culture of everyone is like right there with you. And then something that you mentioned earlier about the technology getting in the way, because we're a software company first, then we became a coaching company. We saw that was one of the biggest struggles with so many coaches. Coaches want to coach. They're like, I want to teach. I want to like really bring my message out and help people. Yeah. And then the tech like chokes them. Yes. They're like, oh man.
Oh yeah, you could stay stuck there for a long time. Even I'm assuming that people even give up completely with tech because you just are like, all I want to do is talk to people and teach. Like, why do I have to deal with all this? But it pays off. And yeah, thank God for your tech team. That's all I have to say. Yeah. And Angel and Michael, like, they were phenomenal. Yeah, they were phenomenal.
Michael Rosenberg, Michael Maurice is also on our tech team. I love my team. They're so cool.
Yes, and all of them have that vibe. Michael's more chill, but he's still got the vibe of like keeping you focused and, to the finish line. And Angel, like, I was like, okay, I gotta do this, like, so encouraging, like so hands-on. Like it was amazing. It was amazing. I can't wait to get my voice back though.
One of the things, I meant to tell you the story about Delia. I was selling this story and then like I blanked out. But Delia, when she first spoke to me, she's like, that's the way you sell. And because I would show up on sales calls, just calls with members, and I'm just this like vibrantly happy person that's like, yes, come on in. And she's like, oh, that's super different than what she's used to. So but that's really, to me, wouldn't be fun to have a reality where you get to show up to your people and you're like super happy and they're excited about their life. And I know now more than ever, there are so many people who need you. There are so many photographers who need you. And
Yes.
like being able to have that energy and abundance and that drive towards helping them and having them say yes to themselves, that is to me so like that ripple effect lasts beyond, way
Yeah.
beyond me, way beyond you, and it goes on and on. And what is it, I'm kind of telescopic in terms of what I consume. I do one thing until I do it really well, and then I move on to the next thing.
Yes.
So I don't know a reality where sales or enrollment is like making them feel bad about it or making them feel like they'll miss out, FOMO kind of thing. It's more like, is this the life you want to live? Is this the reality you want to step into? Is this the vision you have for yourself? And when you're doing it, how many people can you help? How many lives can you actually change? And it's like, you're like nodding, like as you are right now.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yes.
yeah, like
1,000% yes. Yes. I know. And your script and your slides and all the things that you've given us as your students, I mean, it's just yes, that's exactly what you do. Like your people are nodding yes. Like, and I have never seen a script like that. I've never seen a system like that. It's so inspiring, and it's so like you just want to do it. You're like, yes, I want to step into who I'm meant to be and do the things that I'm meant to do. And I know that there's customers out there of other photographers being impacted because it's like it wakes you up. Like exactly what you're saying, the way you do things, it wakes you up. It's like enough playing around now. It's time. And it's there's no time for excuses anymore because we're too busy. We're too busy taking care of clients. It's like, what? There's a pandemic? What? Oh yeah, that's right. There's a pandemic.
Hey, you made $20,000 in like the span of a week ish in a pandemic. Like I kind of blow your mind a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. 1,000%. It's like, wow. And it's like barely scraping the surface. And, next time it's going to be like way better, right? Double, triple, whatever. Like next time the system's going to be all set, and it's like, okay, now we have a strategy, we have systems, we debriefed, we know what went well, we know what we have to change, we know exactly how much people it takes. Like everything is, smooth sailing next time, just follow the system. And that's why you're able to do that so often, right? I was like, how is this girl launching every 2 weeks or something, But it's like you've created this step-by-step system, right? Where it's like, okay, this is what you do. You set it up and now it's set. And now you just keep on pressing play. Play,
So when we're like, we're going to train you like an athlete running this marathon, and like what type of, illustrate to me what type of peace of mind you have now that the next time you don't have to like scramble around as much. And the next time, like you don't have to run ads if you don't want to. And you can still convert and you can still have that financial abundance from your people as well as help them at that level. Like how did that transform the way that you look at your Facebook group and your journey as a coach teaching photographers? Like, let me know, like, how did that transform the way that your outlook for the next year?
Like, I mean, when you sent me the text about like, do you have a Facebook group? It's just like, yeah, but it's dead. Like, yeah, like, so it's like you had me look at Facebook groups in a different way. And I have this amazing Facebook group in our studio. We have like almost 4,000 women. Like I use a lot of the things in that group, but with this, I don't know, it was different. Like, you know what I mean? It's not a photography service where it's visual, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, you taught me to think differently. You taught me how to, use what I had and just, be like, okay, it's fine. We don't worry that your group is not like the other one. We don't worry about any of that. It's like, we're going to take what you have and we're going to create this amazing system. And now it's like the way that now that I've done it, I feel all this like, oh, this pressure is gone, because it's like, now I have like a repeatable system that I can do every single time. So it's not like the price of your program. It's like, it's amazing because it's like you're teaching people to be able to have something that they can repeat, whether it be every 60 days, 90 days and stuff like that. The way that I look at my Facebook group, I mean, everything is transformed. Like the whole Hyperloop thing and all these things, like I was like, I wasn't even doing a quarter of this stuff. Like yeah. So you help me think differently and to be able to see that, there's been money I've been leaving on the table the whole entire time. I was like, oh my gosh, what have I been doing? So I don't know if I answered the question, but
no, you did. Like, in terms of so you have more peace of mind that you have this repeatable system.
Yeah.
Which is literally, I know you didn't go through our 5-day training. By the way, you guys, if you went through our 5-day training, hashtag 5-day, if you actually went through it. But Richelle, she didn't go through that. We communicated the goal of our 5-day training. It transferred to you, even if you never attended it. And one of the things is, hey, if all you need is one group, one offer, and your launch engine, your one engine. That's all you need to have. This is literally the word for word, a repeatable system.
Yes.
In order for you to consistently monetize from your group. And that is what you're saying yes to. So hearing you tell me that now you have a repeatable system that you can consistently monetize from your group, that's the goal.
That's like the goal, right? Because the thing is what did you say? You need one group, one offer,
one launch engine.
One launch engine. So what happens is what people do is they focus on the first one and they focus on how many people are getting into the group, and people get, and I know photographers do the same thing. It's like, how many people can I get in this group? Because once I have enough people in the group, then I'll make money. Right?
Yeah.
And it's like, you're like, no, forget the numbers. You're like, no, forget all that. You don't need all that. You don't need to bring this to 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 like your boudoir group. What you need is one group, an offer, and the engine, and then that will bring you to where. And it's like, it's mind-boggling. You're like, can't be that simple, but clearly just did it in 9 days, right? Like, so it is that simple. And that was like coming in without like a training created. Like, I'm talking like no training created, to slides, to a Facebook group, to reviving a Facebook group, to being there, to creating the vibe and creating the, people wanting to actually be there, to actually getting registrant, to actually taking care of them, to setting up landing pages, email sequences, blah, 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 all the way to like actually going through the 5 days, doing all the VIPs, actually selling, doing the calls, and then getting the sales. Like all that in a short amount of time. And like every single time I question, I'm like, no, guys, Kim said this. Kim said that. No, it says to do this. We're doing that. I know, but no, there's no but. This is what we're doing. And you know what? If it doesn't work, next time we'll switch it. But right now we're doing it the way Kim said to do it. Okay. And it actually worked. So yeah, just saying, like, I'm a systems person. Not only was I a wedding planner, but because of my car accident a few years ago, Kim, like I lose focus. I have a hard time like staying focused. And you know, like I lose concentration and then I'm like, oh, I feel lost and overwhelmed. It was like, no, we don't have time for us to be overwhelmed. So I was like, I plugged into your step by step and it worked. Like that's all it was. And it's exactly those 3 things that you said. People keep on thinking they need more people. It's all about like getting the more people, but it's not. When you have a system, you've proven it over and over and over and over with all your testimonials. And that's very inspiring. That's why I was like, okay, well, if they can do it, I'm sure it's possible.
Oh, yeah. You saw some testimonials, right? Was it the testimonial that pushed you over? Was it part of that, like saying,
well, obviously, because I'm a numbers check, right? I'm just like, okay, but wait, like, you know, like I'm all about inspiration. I'd love to inspire, but I'm all about results too. So it's just like, well, this guy like did this and did it. And I'm like, how? But how? And my husband kept on saying, but how are you going to do that? And I'm like, I don't know, but I know that she's the chick. And he's like, but this much money, like, you know, and we're in Canada, right? So multiply by $1 bajillion, right?
Yeah.
But I was just, I'm like, I don't know, but I know she's the girl. She's the chick. You know, I'm doing it. Like I'm going for it. He's like, okay, well, you know, and you know, I'm so glad I did. You know,
yeah.
I'm so glad.
How would you project your ROI? Let's say that you don't make any. Let's say that this is the results you have, and that's the result you have for the next months. Let's say, and you don't grow beyond that, which I highly doubt. But let's say that's the case. What do you estimate, since you're a numbers chick, what is the like ROI that you have gotten from investing into Ignite?
Do you mean like the ROI, like on the original investment to now, like with the 20,000?
For let's say you're with us for an entire year, right? So what is that, 2x?
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, well, yeah, because I mean, the way that my vision for this program is just this division, because we have multiple divisions in our photography business. So, you know, each division, like I want to make at least 6 figures in each division. So this division, I want like in 12 months, I want it to make its own $100,000, right? Where it's like this division itself is going to go to 6 figures and then double, triple, $500,000, like go on to there, right? So it's like, for me, it's just like, oh my gosh, like it's such a small investment to be able to make 6 figures, you know, because people get caught up in that. They're like, well, that's a lot of money. And it's just like, but not really. If you think about, you know, your return on investment on the very first launch. And I mean, you know, it's like now you repeat it and now it goes to 6 figures. It's this big in the bucket. You know what I'm saying? So to me, like this division itself, because of my car accident and everything, like the boudoir division already makes 6 figures, but for this one here, this is the one I'm retiring on. You know, like, you know, so it's like we're gonna go to 6 figures in 12 months, and then we're gonna double it, triple it, stuff like that. So the return on investment compared to that is, like I said, it's minimal. Like it's like the return on investment is way bigger than the investment, is what I'm saying, into the program.
Yeah. So it's like, hey, so Ignite Now is $11,000. It's a 5-figure investment. Give me 5 figures for you to have the ability to forge a multiple 6-figure, even 7-figure business in a month. Does that sound too far-fetched? Does that sound too crazy? Is that worth the investment if that's the case? And that's the case with you. You just went for it. And, you know, now you have this thing. But what's really important, I want to also touch upon, is you used to do a lot of one-on-ones. How does this change the way that you have energy now? Because there's a cap to one-on-ones. Like, how do you now, like in terms of delivery, how has that changed your business?
Well, I'm about to find out when we start on May 10th. But yeah, like, I mean, one-on-one is very time consuming, right? So it's like, that's something I learned from you. Like, you know, I'm all about delegation. I already had an office manager, but that's delegation. And exactly like what I learned about you is just like thinking bigger, you know, thinking bigger than more just one-on-one to make 100,000 in a division or something. It's like, because you're right, you are capped out at some percentage, right? So it's either you're going to be working 16-hour days, or, do you know what I mean? Like, grow in a way where you have a system that's group coaching. And I'm learning so much about you all the time. You know, it's like, okay, how is she doing it? Like, okay, but like, I'm only one person. It's like, yes, that's why you're going to do it this way. So yeah, like, I mean, it taught me to think differently. And I can't wait to see like how it actually goes through. And I'll have a ton more questions for you and your team as I'm starting to teach them. But you've already, like, to me, like, it's like the money is one thing, but when you expand your mind to different ways of thinking that are not just about time for money, time for money, time for money, and you think differently, it's amazing. I've attracted the most amazing people, Kim. Like, I was just like, I'm going to attract somebody to help me with the marketing piece. Like, I want someone in my team that can help my students with the Facebook ads. And I was just like, I wanted that so badly. And I did. I attracted that person as I was like doing stuff. And it was like the way that you teach us to think bigger than ourselves, so that it's not all on me. It's not all on me doing one-on-one for this and one-on-one setup, one-on-one. You've taught me a system, even with your orientation slides and all this stuff, you know, to be able to be like, no, it's not all going to be about you. You're going to be able to expand and grow beyond you. And that's what I'm seeing happening right now. So it's like, it's transformational, because most entrepreneurs, and I know because I deal with photographers, they never make it past 100,000.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because they are too focused on one-to-one service.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, they're too focused on one-to-one. But when you're around people like you, you're like, whoa, my thinking's too small. Do you know what I mean? Like, my thinking's too small. Like, how it's like you're teaching us to think, how can we do this so we can increase the income, increase our impact, help more people? Do you know what I'm saying? And think differently.
Yeah.
It's amazing, because now, like, my system's built. So it's like, okay, guys, and everyone got a confirmation email. They knew exactly what to do. And I was removed from that process. And you're not even aware, like, that you're doing this, like, right? I'm like changing the way I'm being and changing the way I'm thinking, but it's because you do it. So we're like, well, okay, like that's how she must be able to do that, right?
Yeah.
So it's changed my mindset completely. It's helped us grow faster than I would have ever grown if I did it on my own. Because everyone thinks they could do it on their own. They're like, oh, I don't need to invest into the big $11,000 program. But then they're going to go waste $2,000 over here, $4,000 over here, $7,000 over there, $500 on another course. They're just going to like try to duct tape it all together like this and still not have the support that your program would give. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like kind of one-stop shop. If you have a Facebook group, we can help you monetize it. If you can help your people, if you want to be the leader, you want to step into that version of yourself that is meant for something more. I think, and not I think, but just from hearing you, it just makes me feel kind of speechless sometimes, because I'm like, I tell my team, I'm like, this is the goal. This is what we're going to do. And we're just going to do it repeatedly until we get really, really good at it, so that our client results are just insane, which they are right now. But to hear it back from your mouth, I'm just like, oh, wow. I'm just like, okay.
You're like manifesting that, right? Like, it's like, wow. No, it's the truth, Kim. It's the truth. It's the truth.
Yeah, I love it. And usually we go for an hour. I know it just flew by. And it just, I love hanging out. Like, I love this interaction, Richelle. I love your energy. I'm really excited about, you've been in the program for like a little over a month. I'm excited for the rest of the year. We are going to bring back live events as well. And I know maybe for some people it's kind of premature, but I want to actually meet each other. I want to actually like have like live interactions and bring everyone together. So I'm really excited for the year ahead. And I am so grateful that you decided to trust in Ignite and trust in the system. Let's leave off on where Okay, so if someone's on the fence, what would you tell them in terms of entering into Ignite? And then let's leave off on where everyone can find you, where can they go to get in touch with you. If they have questions about photography, if they have questions about Ignite, where they can find you. So number one, if they're on the fence and they tap you on the shoulder and like, Richelle, I don't know, I'm kind of like hesitant and scared. I don't know if I should do this, but I've been wanting to monetize my group for a long time. What would you say to them?
I would say to them, if you don't do it, where's your business going to be in a year? If you don't do it.
Yeah.
And then they're going to be like, probably exactly where I am. And more scared. And, you know, like the more you stay in that cushy spot, you never want to move.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like when it's cushy and it feels good and you've been designing your website for like a year and doing all these things that are not giving you money. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, where will your business be if you don't do it? So think of your business and be like, okay, well, how long have I been playing around with this thing? And if I keep on doing it my way, thinking I have all it, trust me, you don't have the system. Okay. You don't already have the system, and you don't have the scripts, and you don't have the emails, and you don't have like, no, you don't, because there's so many pieces that people don't see, right? You do a 5-day challenge, you're like, oh, I got this. I could do this on my, no, you can't do it on your own. Maybe you could do it on your own, but it will take you probably 10 times longer. So if you're willing to wait 10 times longer, I mean, yeah. But I would say, where are you going to be if you don't do it? And I would say to them, it is worth every penny, because to invest like 10 grand or 11 grand to make 6 figures, because it's one thing if you have a fish and you eat the fish and that is done. But when someone teaches you how to fish and you have unlimited fish, that's a big difference. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, now I know how to continuously make it happen for myself. And you're giving me the secrets. You're giving me the system. So every time you want to do it, you can rev it up. You can press play. And you can relaunch. And you can relaunch. And it's like your team. I mean, my gosh, even if you're like, well, I don't understand the Facebook ads. You have a Facebook ads person. It's like, but I don't understand the tech. Okay, they have a tech person, you know? It's like, but I don't understand the script and I don't know what to say. They literally give you the words. You just got to replace them. It's ad libs. Like, it can be easier. It's expensive because, well, not as expensive. It's not expensive. Really, when you think about it, it's not expensive at all. Some people, they might think it's expensive, but it's actually such a small investment for the return on the investment. It's nothing. It's nothing. It's going to be worth it to your family. And, you know, I gave both my girls, this is to all the moms that are listening. I literally went to my kids. I said to my husband, how are we going to celebrate? And I went to my kids and I gave them $400 cash each. And I said, just go buy yourself whatever. You want clothes with this money, whatever. Just go blow it on whatever you want to blow it on. And they were like ecstatic, you know, they were like $400 to blow on and whatever. And I was like, yeah. And, you know, like we're going on vacation soon, you know, like, so there's all these things where they're like, oh my gosh, like, you know, it's like, yeah, I want to celebrate. There's nowhere to go. I can't celebrate. You know, we're locked down. We're literally under like, what do you call it? Like house arrest, lockdown, whatever it's called. So yeah. I just gave them cash and I was like, go online and buy yourself clothes, buy yourself bathing suits, whatever you want. Just splurge it, you know? And that's the thing. Like, it's fun to be able to do that, right? It's like you do something and it's fun and you have an accomplishment and now you celebrate. It's amazing, you know? But that's what I would tell them. It's worth it to your family. It's worth it to be able to like just do what you want for your family, be there for your family, have money, have extra that, you know, you could just bless them. So worth it. $10,000 investment to be able to just have abundance of money. It's fun. It's worth it.
Well, my first coach, I paid $30,000, but it's because he taught me how to sell too. And now, you know, it's like a limitless money. It's like limitless potential because of the cracking the whole reality open, cracking my world wide open.
Yeah.
So, and then in Facebook groups, I'm cracking everyone's Facebook group journey open so that they could see their potential is absolutely limitless for themselves, for their family, for their future. It's like for the rest of your life, for the rest of your life. And
Yeah,
so, yeah.
exactly. Because the things you'll learn here will be forever beneficial.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Oh, I feel so, my heart is so full, Richelle.
Oh, I'm so glad. Because when you stare at me like that, I'm like, did I say something wrong?
No, I love it. So
like,
go ahead.
I said, it just cracks me up when you're speechless.
Yeah, because I talk so much, huh? There are moments where I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't even realize that's the extent of the effect, you know? It's one thing for you to consider it and have it as a goal. It's another whole other thing to hear it. It's very different.
And it's like, I really hope you understand the effect that you're doing other people. And it's, you know, to some people, it's like you gave your kids $400 each. This is not a lot of money. But, you know, when I was raised, you know, where I remember like as a kid, like, you know, like my parents never did that, you know, my parents, like, you know, it was like, no, like, you know, money doesn't grow on trees and all those kind of stories, you know? So it's like for me to be able to do those kind of things for my kids and, you know, be able to bring them places and be able to have extra like that. It's like, to me, it's like, yes, like the impact that you're making and I'm making it yes, it's going to change people's lives. Like to me, like I hope you understand the impact that you're making on other people. I hope you realize that because it's phenomenal. Yeah. And my kids are happy, girl. My kids are happy. They're like so proud of me right now. They're like, Mom, you did awesome.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. I'm able to help my parents you know, pay their mortgage. So to me it's like, you know, I came from very poor background. You know, my dad only had a couple $100s when we came to America, and we could barely afford rent for a long time. And coming from that background, like everything I wanted, it was like, no.
Yeah, right.
Too poor.
Yeah.
And to change that story, not only for yourself, but now for you, for your kids, and to change the story of a poor life for my parents, it's so meaningful, you know?
Yes. No, 1,000%. Because I was a single mom for 3 years. There's no way I could do that. There's no way I could just go to my kids and be like, here's 400 for you, and here's 400 for you, and just go do whatever you want with it. Like I was never able to do that. I was a single mom for 3 years. It was very difficult time. So I know that moms that are listening, they're like, oh my gosh, that's awesome. You know, it's like, yeah, those are the types of things we want to do for our kids, you know, and celebrate and have fun and just, you know, it's exciting. But yeah, they can follow me on the Photography Business Coach on Instagram, the Photography Business Coach on Facebook, the photographybusinesscoach.com. It's all the Photography Business Coach.
The photography, and this is Christopher. He's like started from the bottom, now the whole team's here.
Yeah.
Christopher did like 48,000 his very first launch, and he was like, I guess I'm a coach now. It was just, it's pretty cool as well to have him. He's in Ignite with you guys, and he's bought and sold multiple 7-figure businesses, and now he's like teaching embroidery women how to run their embroidery businesses. So it's super specific.
I love it.
Super cool. Okay, the Photography Business Coach on Facebook, on Instagram. If you want to learn how to get your calendars booked, and you're a photographer, join Richelle's world and join all her stuff. And you can tell the vibe and the energy and how she talks, even though she lost her voice. Like, and Christopher, when he launched, he's like, Kim, I don't have really teeth in the front. And he fixed it now. But I'm like, man, with no teeth, still go. With no voice, still do it. You know, it's like,
that Kim look, that Kim stare where you're like, are you seriously giving me an excuse right now? It's like the stare says it all. It's like, I will never believe that one coaching call that you did, and you're like, I think you're giving me an excuse right now. I was like rolling down on the floor. I was just like, you're amazing, Kim. You're like, you literally like you live. What do they say? You like what you preach, you do it, or whatever it is. But yeah, you what is it? Walk the walk, talk the talk, whatever it is.
Yeah, walk the walk, talk the talk. Rashida said that was savage.
Yeah, like between me being French, trying to speak English, and you being like, you're always like saying it's your second language. I'm like, oh gosh, this will be interesting.
Oh, I love it. I love it. And Rashida is also inside of Ignite. Oh man, a bunch of Ignite members just showing up today. Which gives me just so much hope. And there's so much, it's just so amazing. You guys are transforming lives, and I am so grateful to help you do that. But all right, you guys, this is the end. So Richelle, thank you so much for showing up today. I will see you in Ignite. And Rashida's like, it's okay. The mortgage doesn't care what you look like. Okay. I'm gonna click, what is it? I'm gonna let you go, and then I'm gonna have like just spend like 2 minutes reminding everyone, hey, cart is closing on Tuesday. Come on in. You're gonna be joined by just rock star people, just transforming making a dent in their universes and changing people's lives, and that's who you're gonna be surrounded by. So thank you so much, Richelle. Yay!
Thank you.
Have a great day. Bye. Okay, guys. So just a quick reminder. I'm gonna share with you my screen. Just a super quick reminder. And Richelle, I know you're in the green room. You can remove yourself somehow. Okay, yeah, she's away from the green room. I'm gonna share my screen. Do you guys see my screen? Okay, so make sure you go to groupconvert.com/ignite. That's really cool that Christopher and Rashida managed to join us today. I know we love to hear each other's stories and to see the success that happens. But if you've been through the 5-day training, or even if you're just hopping in and you are in the middle of it, you have until Tuesday to watch all the replays. Meanwhile, I want to warmly invite you into GroupConvert Ignite. Is to fully automate your group and ignite your life. This program is for you if you're ready to courageously and proudly be present for your tribe. Have rapid sales training sessions focused on enabling you to pitch your offers immediately to generate income, grow an excited community, implement sales strategies that actually convert, finally get rid of shining object syndrome, have 1 year accountability and support. Christopher's like, jump into Ignite. Get coaching and implementation and all the group automation we have available. Save money and time because we got you covered with our GroupConvert time saving and automation system, and get your bot handled. You're subscribing into all the bot help you need. This is a 12-month business incubator, and the focus is, hey, we're gonna have you go. You're gonna do your conversion event. You're going to make sure you get that ROI back. We help you create a scalable, profitable, high-ticket offer with your group. As Richelle said, she went from one-on-one, now she's doing group coaching. Our specialty is combining the funnel, the marketing, and the automation system. So after your high-ticket offer, we will continue to help you build out your entire value ladder with lower ticket offers. This is a live coaching program. The magic is in the live. We do have all the pre-recorded modules, all the course in Kajabi that you can go through. But if you are tired of being burnt out with all your one-on-one clients, if you want to finally get it handled and automate your group so you could sell more of your offers on autopilot, if you're sick of having programs scattered all over the place and want a clear roadmap, implementation plan, and community to help you convert, I want to challenge you to do that. Build a Facebook group tribe that lights you up to serve every single week. And these are the frameworks that convert as CEO and founder of a software that enabled over thousands of CEOs grow and automate their groups, I have the top-down view. I've seen what works and what doesn't work. What group converters growing their group from 0 to over 7,000 members with paid ads. I've seen group converters accept 10,000 new leads a week from their Facebook groups, and I've seen how these GroupConvert users use GroupConvert in order to monetize and implement those. And I've implemented those strategies myself to gain attention, leads, and sales. This is a no BS program. We focus on what no other program focuses on, what truly works with automation and what truly converts, what will actually have, even if your Facebook group is like less than 200 people, how do you have them enroll and say yes to themselves into this life that they could live if only they travel that path with you, and you already know how to help them. You are this unsung hero that you can absolutely help your people if only you know how to convert, right? So here's what will work. Everything out there works. Webinars, ads, podcasting. There's 8 million things you can do today to grow your business. So why are so many people feeling stuck? Because every month they're starting over at 0, every week starting over at 0. With my signature GroupConvert automation blueprint, we teach you to take time back for yourself with a group that works on autopilot, collecting, converting more leads. And I know that business isn't one size fits all. Without a knowledgeable coach to guide you through the platforms and strategies that will work specifically for you, whether you're in photography, health, you're teaching wealth, you're teaching relationship, another course or social media account or another thing isn't going to do the trick. And that's the power behind a live coaching program like GroupConvert Ignite. This is what others have said about my coaching. I've coached people from all walks of life, from all ages, and these are our coaches. I've yet to add Michael because we added him recently. But I teach Facebook group growth on Mondays. Angel teaches copywriting and accountability. Mutita lives and breathes virtual assistants and teams and hiring. She teaches on Fridays, systems, operations, team building. Tracy teaches Facebook ads and sales funnel. She has her own Facebook ad agency. Bo Lee teaches messenger, sales, and high ticket coach. And she will do role playing. She has her own, she sells high ticket every single week. She lives and breathes that world. Misbah lives and breathes bots. She has her own bot agency. She runs a 5-figure bot agency and 5-figure a month bot agency, and she's there to help you handle your bots. So with that said, how come that's blank? I gotta figure out. Let me see how come that isn't showing up or is showing up kind of weird. If you go to groupconvert.com/ignite, you'll see all the testimonials we have. We have like a bunch of, for some reason, it's not showing up right here. Maybe my internet access. But yes, Misbah built Christopher's bot challenge. Christopher, I'm so grateful that you're here, just like hyping us up. And Christopher did $48,000 with his very first launch into his group. So kudos to Christopher. Ignite your group with me. Here's what you get. You get 3 times a week Zoom calls for walkthrough, do it with you group automation and offer launches to your group. That's a value of $12,000. You get personalized help with crafting your high ticket offer in a way that's congruent with your lifestyle and beliefs. And it's super personalized. So we make sure that it fits your lifestyle. It fits the way you operate. We have collapse your timeline membership portal. Like Richelle said, she's like, hey, okay, what are the emails? Here are the emails. Here's the landing pages that convert. Here's the share funnels that convert. Here are the slides. Here's the bot flow. And it's to collapse your time so that you're not spending months and months trying to figure it out. You're doing your conversion event, you're pitching into your group, and you're doing it now kind of deal. We help you position yourself as an expert to your audience. Like Carlene, she had to shut down her business. She would add 0. She didn't have any group members. And she went from 0 to over 1,000 group members in 2 months, and she pitched her program and she did $8,000. That doesn't sound huge, but that's still more in 1 month than she made in the past 2 years with her online effort. You also have advanced bot automation masterclasses. So your bot will collect phone numbers, emails, send people into your custom audience. and that's a value of $4,500. You also have access to team building and scaling coaching. Mutita does that. And we want to make sure that if you have this cash now, how are you going to hire? How are you going to find coaches? What does that look like? And we teach you that as well inside of Ignite. You have a one-on-one concierge. You have a one-on-one person that keeps track of your record and keep you accountable every single month. And you get a one-on-one call with your accountability coach who is staffed by my team. You also get weekly Zoom help desk support for automation and implementation. So some of the Igniters come into our program just because of this. Like, we don't let technology get in the way of your success. We want to make sure that if you have trouble with this email here or this other thing here, that you can jump into a Zoom room and get that handled. You also have access to everyone else inside of Ignite, these rock stars. You have access to the private member group for networking, masterminding, asking questions, sharing wins, and the group is staffed by my team 5 days a week, so your questions always gets answered. That's a $12,000 value. The pay in full bonuses are, if you pay in full, you get a one-on-one personalized battle plan session with me. We look at everything you have, and we make sure that we plan out what you're going to do for the rest of the year, and that's a value of $1,997. You also have access to our advanced automation private Zoom session. So somewhere in the year, you're going to have things automated to an extent, but we can close the gap with a private Zoom session. And it's a value of $4,997. You also have access to my other program for an entire year. The other program is 3 hours of group coaching call a week. And I teach you what I do, which is having a software like $10 a month software that can give you kind of unlimited leads, and you can ascend your people into your higher ticket programs, and you unlock monthly passive income for life. So that's a value of $4,997. And on top of that, since I have software, I can give you software. You have access to a vault where you log in. It looks like this, and you can go and add users to 5 of my extensions. So you can literally become a software CEO overnight and give access to your people with software. And that's a value of $12,000 because you get to give away or keep or sell and keep 100% of the profits. It's there to add more arsenal to your belt. With that said, the total value is over $96,000, $482. And you invest only $11,000. It's a 5-figure investment for the potential to make 6 figures per year. Or you pay in full and you save $2,200. You can either invest $11,000 paid in full, or you do $1,100 a month for 12 months. And we also have one other pricing point, which is $7,245 down today, and then $3,755 in 15 days. You can unlock the super bonuses within 15 days. So those are the 3 options you can choose to come into Ignite, and there are 5 days left. If you have questions and you just want to lock in your spot, click here to schedule a call. Again, the link is GroupConvert.com/ignite. Christopher has great things to say about Bo. And Bo is a killer sales coach. She is amazing. We're called kind of like the Charlie's Angel of Facebook groups, because we know how to help you convert, and most of our team are female. However, we do have 2 male members on our team. And again, testimonial after testimonial, people from all walks of life. Mandy has a keto group. Christopher teaches embroidery women how to run their embroidery business. Kim Seltzer does relationship coaching for women. Adam does relationship coaching for men. Tyler has SEO. And Antonio and Sharon has a full-time job, full-time 9 to 5. They still did $23,000 for their group. And Michael is now a coach with us, and he's deeply, deeply knowledgeable about everything in Ignite, and then also everything in ChromeBoss. So he's one of the accountability coaches. All right. So with that said, you guys, there are 5 days left. There's a VIP session later on at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time today. So #VIP. That VIP session is to answer whatever questions you have left, and I can answer them directly. And that's it. I'm excited to see everyone inside of Ignite for this round. Again, we are still small, so you're not going to be drowning in like a bunch of people asking a lot of questions. You're going to actually be surrounded by a smaller group, and you will always get your questions answered. And Richelle even said like there wasn't a point where days would go by and she wouldn't get an answer. She always gets her questions answered. Because we have a rock star team. I could not do this without my team whatsoever. So, like, credit to having an awesome, amazing team. And that's it. I'll see you guys in the VIP session. If not, I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day. Oh, yeah. If you like that video, then you will love all the resources that I have over at kimcdang.com. That is KIMCDANG.com. There you will find all my courses, my extensions, all the offers that I have, as well as a lot of free resources if you are just getting started.